sport at Ohonu. Approached from the northward, Ohonu, midway cloven down to the sea, one half a level plain, the other 3 mountain terraces. Ohonu looks like the first steps of a gigantic way to the sun. And such, if Braidbeard spoke the truth, it had formerly been. Ere Mardi was made, said that true old chronicler, Vivo, one of the genii, built a ladder of mountains whereby to go up and to go down. And of this ladder, the island of Ohonu was the base. But wandering here and there, the incognito in a vapor, in so much wickedness did Vivo spy out, that in high dudgeon he hurried up his ladder, knocking the mountains from under him as he went. These, here and there, fell into the lagoon, forming many isles now green and luxuriant, which with those sprouting from seeds dropped by a bird from the moon, comprise all the groups in the reef. Surely, oh surely, if I live till Mardi be forgotten by Mardi, I shall not forget the sight that greeted us as we drew nigh the shores of this same island of Ohonu. For was not all Ohonu bathing in the surf of the sea? But let the picture be painted. Where eastward the ocean rolls surging against the outer reef of Mardi, there, facing a floodgate in the barrier, stands cloven Ohonu, her plains sloping outward to the sea, her mountains as a bulwark behind. As at Juam, where the wild billows from seaward roll in upon its cliffs, much more at Ohonu. In billowy battalions charge they hotly into the lagoon, and fall on the isle like an army from the deep. But charge they never so boldly, and charge they forever. Old Ohonu gallantly throws them back, till all before her is one scud and wrack. So charged the bright billows of cuirassiers at Waterloo. So hurled them off the long line of living walls, whose base was at the sea beach, wrecks strown in a gale. Without the break in the reef, wide banks of coral shelve off, creating the bar, where the waves muster for the onset, thundering in water bolts that shake the whole reef, till its very spray trembles. And then is it that the swimmers of Ohonu most delight to gambol in the surf. For this sport, a surfboard is indispensable, some 5 feet in length, the width of a man's body, convex on both sides, highly polished, and rounded at the ends. It is held in high estimation, invariably oiled after use, and hung up conspicuously in the dwelling of the owner. Ranged on the beach, the bathers, by hundreds, dash in, and diving under the swells, make straight for the outer sea, pausing not till the comparatively smooth expanse beyond has been gained. Here, throwing themselves upon their boards, tranquilly they wait for a billow that suits. Snatching them up, it hurries them landward, volume and speed both increasing, till it races along a watery wall like a smooth, awful verge of Niagara. Hanging over this scroll, looking down from it, as from a precipice, the bathers halloo, every limb in motion to preserve their place on the very crest of the wave. Should they fall behind, the squadrons that follow would whelm them, dismounted and thrown forward, as certainly would they be run over by the steed they ride. 'Tis like charging at the head of cavalry, you must on. An expert swimmer shifts his position on his plank, now half striding it, and anon, like a rider in the ring, poising himself upright in the scud, coming on like a man in the air. At last all is lost in scud and vapor, as the overgrown billow bursts like a bomb. Adroitly emerging, the swimmers thread their way out, and like seals at the Orkneys, stand dripping upon the shore. Landing in smooth water, some distance from the scene, we strolled forward, and meeting a group resting, inquired for Uhia, their king. He was pointed out in the foam, but presently drawing nigh, he embraced Medea, bidding all welcome. The bathing over, and evening at hand, Uhia and his subjects repaired to their canoes, and we to ours. Landing at another quarter of the island, we journeyed up a valley called Monlova, and were soon housed in a very pleasant retreat of our host. Soon supper was spread, but though the viands were rare, and the red wine went round and round, like a foaming bay-horse in the ring, yet we marked that despite the stimulus of his day's good sport, and the stimulus of his brave good cheer, Uhia, our host, was moody and still. Said Babbalanja, "My lord, he fills wine cups for others to quaff." But whispered King Media, "Though Uhia be sad, be we merry, merry men." And merry some were, and merrily went to their mats. Chapter 90.